Welcome to Mental Health. All right, now I don't have an interview, but what I do have, I've got a box. All right, and we're gonna look inside that box. What's in the box? What's in the box? Dun, 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 dun. All right, so you saw the box. It didn't look like a lot of concert ticket stubs, but that was because it was organized getting ready for this video right here. All right, so I can't go to a concert, so all I'm going to do is reminisce of concerts past. All right, a lot of these concerts I don't remember much about because, like, as much as I wouldn't do any drugs or get fucked up for the concert, I ended up doing so much drugs at home afterwards, many years after some of these, that I ended up forgetting a lot. So it's a good thing I have these ticket stubs to remind me. All right, we're gonna go back to 2002, which was my first metal concert. All right, and it was Korn on the Untouchables tour. All right, Protest Hero opened for them. It was a fun show. I went with my older brother, and my dad drove us up, and he waited out in the car while the concert was happening. So thank you, Dad. Right. After that, it was 2003 with Metallica. All right, that was a Summer Sanitarium tour. The first and only time I've seen Metallica, because shortly after that, I was too busy going to Megadeth. All right, opening bands on this show was Mudvayne, Deftones, Linkin Park, and Limp Bizkit. All right, my favorite of the opening bands is Mudvayne. Looking back, Limp Bizkit was cool at the time, and Fred Durst jumped out on a concession stand pretty much right in front of me, so that was cool. Yeah, Linkin Park, they stopped the show for a while, like, oh, someone's fallen in the pit, pick them up. We're going to stop until someone picks them up. All right, so if someone got hurt, that sucks, but I'm pretty sure it was just Linkin Park being like, hey, we aren't good enough to do our whole set, so we'll just wait around and say someone fell. I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, all right. So then after that, it was Korn and Limp Bizkit, right? On that show, the opening band was like Fieldy's rap band guys, because Fieldy, the bassist from Korn, likes to rap. Yeah, all right. And then from then, that's when things really got serious for me. My brother and I drove down to Mansfield, Massachusetts for Ozfest '04. All right, that was huge. My brother and I, we stayed at a Holiday Inn. All right, and all the bands on there. This is going to take a while because lots of awesome bands, but yeah. So Disown, Darkest Hour, Throwdown, all right, Magnify, Devil Driver, OTEP, God Forbid, Unearth, Every Time I Die, Luna Coil, Bleeding Through, Atreyu, Lamb of God, Hatebreed, and Slipknot. That Lamb of God show was the first time seeing Lamb of God, and that was awesome. It was before Ashes of the Wake came out, and that was back when they did the whole Wall of Death, splitting the pit and having them run at each other Braveheart style. Lots of fun. I was in that, so good times. All right. That was the second stage, main stage. It took a while to get to our seats in main stage because like there was that lineup, and then you gotta wait, and you're just going through the lineup as they check everybody in. And yeah, so Black Label Society, I saw like maybe the last song, maybe the last two songs. That's it. But after that, it was Super Joint Ritual. So Phil Anselmo, awesome. All right. And then Demi Bogir, Slayer, all right, yeah, good times. Judas Priest. I will admit that I was getting tired by then, and I sat down during a lot of Judas Priest's set. You know, I'd save up for the next band, but I did get to see Rob Halford come out on his motorcycle. Lots of fun, very cool. All right, and then it was Black Sabbath, like Black Sabbath Ozzy. So, yeah. Yeah, good times, legendary. I even started an Aussie chant that day, and yeah. So anytime you can start an Aussie chant, that's like, then have the whole arena start just chanting it with you. That was cool. All right, better than cool. I say cool a lot, but like that one deserves more than a cool. After that, it was Slipknot. That was in Ottawa. Outside of that show, the guys from Banger TV or whatever, metal stuff, they were filming for Metal, a Headbanger's Journey. And you can see me for a split second outside of that Slipknot show. I lean from one side to the other in the lineup. That's me. That was my moment in Metal, Headbanger's Journey. All right. So, Hatebreed was there too. I think God Forbid was also. Good times, good times. All right. So from there, right, we go to Lamb of God with Fear Factory and Children of Bodom open for them. That's such a good lineup, you know. At the time, not knowing in hindsight, you know, it was all like, yeah, that's a great lineup. Let's go to that instead of Damage Plan, which was like a week or two later. And never got to see Dimebag Darrell because we went to that show instead. But, oh well, you know, can't go back in time. Alright, so next is, this would be 2005, right? Yeah, 2005, Mudvayne, alright? We saw Mudvayne again. Opening for that was Life of Agony, Blood Simple, American Head Charge. I bought the Blood Simple CD because I enjoyed that band, but I hadn't heard anything from them since. But yeah, alright. Mudvayne was fun. Next, we have Machine Head. Alright, this was Devil Driver opening for Machine Head. This was the show where the vocalist in Machine Head was sick or something, and they were getting people from the crowd to sing songs with them because he was too sick. And yeah, so basically Devil Driver got an extended set, so that part was cool. But and I was on the rail, and Des jumped out on the rail and put the microphone in between me and this other guy, and I think I got to sing like "Knee deep in the pit, all together in the shit, all together in the pit for life." So that was fun. But my brother is a big fan of Machine Head and didn't want to see anything half-assed, so we left before Machine Head got started. Because the guy was sick, and who really wants to see a bunch of fans singing the song? It's like the next step of karaoke, right? Like karaoke with the band. All right. So next we go to Sounds of the Underground. That was the first Sounds of the Underground. That was a legendary show. Freaking awesome, right? Let's go through the bands that were on that, right? Let's do that. All right, so start off with A Life Once Lost, Devil Driver, Madball, All That Remains, High on Fire, Strapping Young Lad, Guar, Throwdown, Every Time I Die, Norma Jean, Chimera, Unearth, Opeth, Poison the Well, Clutch, and then Lamb of God. All right, great show. So many awesome bands. I'm glad that I got to see Strapping Young Lad before they broke up. Guar should be on Broadway. Like, that's a Broadway show between all the blood they spill out onto the crowd and all the costumes. And, like, that was, what, 2005, right? Yeah. So they cut off George Bush's head and had the body spraying blood out of the crowd. Like, Guar. Good times. Good times. All right. So, next we'll go to, first of all, my second ticket from Sounds of the Underground, because I was on the rail, somebody started, like, elbowing me in the back just to get me to move, punching me, so I went around to deal with that situation. The security guys on the rail didn't like how I was dealing with that situation, picked me up, kicked me out of the arena place, so then I ended up buying another ticket off a scalper to get back in. So that's what that ticket is, right there. Right, I still bought a bunch of merch, too. All right, so, and then from there, we go to Gigantour, the first time seeing Megadeth. Right? Awesome. Good times. All right, so with that one, though, the opening bands were Bobaflex, Dry Kill Logic, Symphony X, Life of Agony, Nevermore. So yeah, I got to see Nevermore. That was amazing. Fear Factory, Dream Theater, and Megadeth. Great time. Really enjoyed that show. First Megadeth experience, right? So then from there, we go to In Flames. In Flames, right? So that's 2006. That was with Trivium and Devil Driver. That's where I got my Trivium pick. Yeah, great show. In Flames is always fun. Trivium, Devil Driver, love those guys, right? So, and then from there, we went to Slayer on the Unholy Alliance tour. All right, so opening, you had Thine Eyes Bleed. I still have that CD back at my old house. And then Mastodon, Children of Bodom for the second time. Oh, great. Lamb of God and Slayer, right? Can't beat that. Good times. Woo. All right. So then from there, we go to Gigant Tour number 2. All right. So yeah, that was Sanctity. Into Eternity. First time seeing Stu Block up there with the vocals. Great time. Overkill, Arch Enemy, Opeth, Lamb of God, and Megadeth. All right, so that was a really cool show because Megadeth, their sound wasn't working right, and after like a few minutes, Dave got pissed off and just threw his guitar across stage, and then they finished off that song, and then they stopped for about 15 minutes, figured out what was the problem, came back out, and crushed the rest of the set. So that was fun, right? And like to see Dave throw a hissy fit, that's extra special, right? Extra special. Heaven and Hell. All right, so Black Sabbath with Dio. I got to see Dio before he died. That's amazing, right? Opening bands were Down and Megadeth. If those are your opening bands, holy shit, right? Fuck. All right. So, coolest part about this show was when they're doing the Heaven and Hell song, they slowed it down a bit, and then Dio was they had the white light shining down on him, and he looked all heavenly and everything, and then he's like, "But I'd rather burn in hell," and then red light came up from underneath him, and he was all old and wrinkly, and it just like really, it was pretty scary because of all the wrinkles and stuff. Good times, and that's where I got the Tony Iommi pick I have also. And then from there, we go Demi Bouguer, all right? The Cool House. Cool House was a great venue. I love that place, and I went there many times. And now it's just condos, like the rest of Toronto. Just condos on top of condos. Ugh. But that show was Cataclysm, Devil Driver, Unearth, and Demi Bouguer. All right? And then from there, we see Dream Theater in Montreal. Into Eternity open for them. Great show. From there we go Lamb of God. All right. So we're in 2007 now, just so you know. And Lamb of God. This show was Behemoth, 3 Inches of Blood, and Hatebreed as well. All right. From there we go to Steve Vai. Steve Vai is an amazing guitarist. You got to appreciate that. He used to be a guitarist for Frank Zappa. And Frank Zappa does not pull any punches. He gets the best musicians he can. Well, he could before he died. Next is Down. This is an evening with Down, so there's no openers. They did play some music videos on a screen, though, beforehand, and then they kicked some ass. Rex Brown. Oh, good times, right? And, yeah, here we go. Gigant Tour. This was the third one. And so with this was High on Fire, Job for a Cowboy, Children of Bodom, and In Flames. It's right along with Megadeth. I talked about this one in my about the going to the show and the experience afterwards in my Alexi Leho tribute video. You should check that one out if you want to hear a good story about an awesome concert and drugs and strippers afterwards. All right, had to show my dick to a cop. All right, and then from there, I go to Carcass. That was a great show. 1349, Aborted, Suffocation, then Carcass. That's a pretty legendary show. Good times, right? It's when Carcass came back. All right, and we're going to keep on motoring through here with Iced Earth. This was Iced Earth. Opening bands were Saviors and Into Eternity. That was the last time I got to see Into Eternity. Shortly after this show, Iced Earth took Stu Block, right? Matt Barlow did the singing on this one. Yeah, so that's pretty awesome. Yeah. Right then, Nine Inch Nails in Ottawa. Nine Inch Nails puts on a great show. What can I say? And I listened to them a lot when I was younger. And here's when we get to some comedians, because I went to see quite a few comedians, and this one is legendary. Rest in peace, Robin Williams. Robin Williams was shooting his Weapons of Self-Destruction tour on that one, so I'm really glad I got to see that before he took his life. All right. From there, we go to Creator. That was an epic show, right? Because with Creator, it was Warbringer, Belphegor, Exodus, and Creator. Exodus blew Creator out of the water. Creator was seemed like they were too drunk and high to be on stage, and then but it's a little hard to judge a band after Exodus was just on, because Exodus is legendary. All right, so from there, my first real just black metal show with Mayhem. Marduk couldn't be there because of border problems. Yeah, this was the first time Mayhem had a North American tour, I think. And yeah, very cool. Lots of fun. I didn't take it very seriously, and I wasn't huge into black metal at the time, so I spent more time laughing at the corpse paint mannequin heads on the drum kit and everything like that than really enjoying the show. My bad, you know. A lot of black metal people will be like, "Oh, how dare you?" And they were. All right. Now, I'm going to put all these ticket stubs in a frame one day, and when I do, I'm going to put this one behind bars. All right. I saw. Yeah, he put on a good show, but that was before the whole finding out about all the people that he drugged and raped. Okay, move on. Derek Edwards. My grandma took me to this show, so that was fun. Derek Edwards is like a Canadian headlining comedian that yeah, he's really big in Canada. I don't really know anything else too much about him, but I've seen him a few times, and he always puts on a great show. All right, from there we go Jerry Seinfeld. All right, Jerry Seinfeld. I ended up being first in line to this show, to buying tickets, so I got front row center tickets. I took my dad, and we really had a great time. He did the Oreos joke, you know, and a whole row, you know, and at the end of the show, people got up from the front row and started to shake his hand. He was shaking people's hands. I got up to shake his hand, and then I took my hand back at the last second, because I was like, you know what, I kind of want to do this on a professional level one day, you know, being a comedian. And that's when, but imagine it from his point of view, right? Because I reach out my hand to shake his hand, and then I pull it back at the last second, right when he was going for it. So yeah, he was probably like, what the hell's wrong with that guy? He didn't shake my hand. And then we had this look, and yeah, it was funny. Yeah, just to see Jerry Seinfeld's face, why aren't you shaking my hand? It was special to me, right? Maybe I will get to shake his hand one day. All right, Norm Macdonald. All right, Norm Macdonald, Canadian legend, doesn't like to admit that he's Canadian anymore, but who can really blame him when, Canada doesn't care about you whatsoever unless you're famous in the States first. Okay, on the show, Kevin Farley, Chris's brother, opened, so that was cool, and I got to meet them in the green room afterwards, because my friend's uncle worked at the venue, so that was very cool. I got to meet Norm Macdonald. All right. From there, it's Dane Cook. People looking back oh, Dane Cook was awful, but at the time, he was pretty freaking cool, right? And that was great. He was in the round. Good times. All right, and then it's Gigantour. That's Megadeth, who was with him this time, right? That's Luna Coil, Volbeat, and Motorhead. I got to see Motorhead before Lemmy died, so yeah, very special. Good times. All right, so then from there we go to 2012. Yeah, Heavy TO. That was the last Heavy TO ever. They all are in Montreal since then, and I only went to the one day. On the one day I went and saw, it was Protest a Hero, Cancer Bats, Overkill, Gorgira. Gorgira is amazing. I love them. Dillinger Escape Plan, Trivium, Suicidal Tendencies, In Flames. In Flames was only there because Lamb of God could not be. Lamb of God was dealing with the stuff with Randy going to prison after he pushed a guy off the stage and he died. All right. So, and then Marilyn Manson and Slipknot. That's a good day. That's a damn good day. All right. So we'll keep going here. We're almost done because around this time was when I got diagnosed with schizophrenia. Then I really started to just self-medicate hard from the drugs they put me on. But this is Black Sabbath 13 on that tour, so that was fun. They didn't have an opening band; they just had Andrew WK being a DJ. Kind of pissed off there because for example, for all the songs that they played, like if they played a Pantera song, it would be Walk. Like that's the best Pantera song. Like, come on, that's like the most mainstream, easiest thing that ever happened to Pantera. But everybody loves it because, yeah, fucking dumb. All right, so then from there we go. This is like 2016 Meshuggah. High on Fire opened for them. That was the first time seeing Meshuggah. Fantastic show, but I was really into the meth by then. And I left a bit early because I was starting to Jones for some meth. So I went back to my hometown and found some meth. Because that's what meth heads do. Alright, Iron Maiden. Alright, everyone has to see Iron Maiden at least once. That's just a go-to with metal. If you haven't seen Iron Maiden, I suggest you do that because friggin' awesome, right? Alright, from there, this one is more of a special ticket for me. This is First Responders Comedy Night at Algonquin College. That was the first time that I opened at a theater show doing stand-up. I was supposed to open for Mike McDonald. Mike McDonald died 5 days beforehand. They replaced him with a different headliner, and yeah, it was more of a sad event. Not a lot of people there, and everyone who was there was just wishing that they could see Mike McDonald, rightfully so. But it was cool. I came out to Lamb of God's, A Devil in God's Country. I was wearing my white tuxedo coat with a red shirt, black bow tie, pleather pants, and an awesome belt with a belt buckle that was right cool. I really enjoyed that, and I'll remember that forever, right? All right, from there, it's 2018. That last one was too. Iced Earth. All right, this was the show where I made friends in the lineup, and they had an extra VIP pass, and they gave it to me, and I got to see and meet Stu Block, John Schaefer, the whole band. You know, got to mention Luke Appleton because I did an interview with him. Even with everything that's happened since January 6th, I don't care. I love this band. I love John's music, and I don't give a fuck. You can say what you will, but I love the band and I love the music, and I'll continue listening to the music. So yeah, opening for Iced Earth that day was Kill Ritual and Sanctuary. Sanctuary just got a new vocalist because David Warren, the guy from Nevermore, he died just a few months before that show, so that was sad. Yeah, and then Darkest Hour and Unearth. That was a fun show. I saw that show twice on that tour, in Ottawa and my hometown. I waited outside on the second show and got them to sign a couple records. I got the whole band, so that was cool. Good times. All right. And then the last show before COVID and all this bullshit making me not be able to go to metal shows or any shows in general, Amon Amarth. That was at the Rebel. Good times. Fuck. All right, so opening was Grand Magus, and then At the Gates, fuck yeah, right? And then Arch Enemy, wicked awesome, you know. That's how I got. There's a pick from Arch Enemy in that frame, and there's a bass pick from Amon Amarth. Amon Amarth puts on such a good live show, and probably another show that could be on Broadway, because you know they're always having Vikings come out and fight each other, and the set's always amazing. Oh, I miss concerts. And yeah, they'd also have like the circle pit would turn into a bunch of people on the floor rowing like they're in a Viking ship. So cool, so cool. Oh, I miss concerts. And maybe we'll see another one, maybe we won't. But either way, I had a good run. I've probably been to more shows than that, but I don't remember because meth is bad, and I'd snort it and it would go in my brain and then make my brain into Swiss cheese. Now I got a Swiss cheese brain. But technically, The first concert that I went to was Rod Stewart, but that's not metal, so we didn't talk about it. All right, thank you for sticking around and watching all this. If you went to some of these shows, let me know in the comments. I'm not going to tell you to like and subscribe and shit because you know how to use YouTube. All right, thank you. This is the perfect analogy for mental health. All right? Boom, I fall. And then like the jogger comes up. Oh, that happened. That happened right in front of me. Do I have to care? Looks around. Do I have to care? Oh, there's no one around. Okay, I'll just keep going.